problems actors would come in with got a little frustrating sometimes. It's like you're taking your time out to do this. But then the studios were kind of trying to run it as they would in an actual session in studio. So they, did the best they could, obviously, but you'd have all these technical difficulties and they wouldn't adjust for the time that took for like setting up and if, the internet goes out. So there are a lot of times when you just wouldn't be recording for like 10 minutes because an actor's internet would blow out maybe for the rest of the day. And then it's like, well, we have a deadline, so what are we gonna do? And then if it happens to you as an actor, of course you feel mortified. So it's like there was all that going on. So it was a little rough. We had to build a studio in our closet, in our bedroom, which we already used it for auditions, but you have to make it like better for an actual recording, so way more padded. Because auditions, it's like whatever. If your audio quality is not super up to snuff, it's like fine. You'll go in a studio and record on high quality equipment, but now we have to make our booths at home like that. And we don't have the space for like one of those whisper rooms, so we had to improvise, and it worked okay, I think.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of growing pains for a lot of us voice actors, where even like us who had a working booth that I still think sounded good, but we had to take it up to the next level so that it was studio grade, or at least as much as we could muster at the time. And then other actors who maybe were a little bit lacking, who didn't have a great home studio setup, they had to get one up and running ASAP if they wanted to keep working. So, and some of us are a little more technically minded. We know about how recording gear works and microphones and preamps and all that stuff and how that works. But not all actors are gearheads like that.
It's me, I'm actor.
So they're like, I don't know, I plug it in and it don't work. I don't know why. And so,
Lucian, I'm right here. You don't have to talk. It's
okay, what do you talk?
I'm literally right here. No, I was one of those people. I am not by any means a gearhead. I was so resistant to it. And then I had this moment, I remember, and I just realized, oh, this is gonna go on a lot longer than I thought. And I ordered an actual computer. I was using my laptop to do auditions, and things, and you can't, because we all found out your fan starts whirring after about 45 minutes, and then it's going into the record, and you can't keep it outside your booth because you need it to like do things. It was a mess, but it did make me a lot more self-sufficient, I don't want to call it like, it's not a great example of like post-traumatic growth, but like truly, I was just like, no, I want to go to the studio and sit like a pretty little princess and talk good into mic. Like that's what I want. And I will say nowadays, most everything is saying we want you back in studio. So I'm, just because of it just presents a lot more problems. It's nice that we know we can do it. It's given other actors who maybe don't live in Los Angeles an opportunity to be in projects that they wouldn't otherwise be able to be in, which I think is lovely. I have noticed that now that the COVID protocols have sort of tamped down, that they're asking for people in studio. They prefer us to be. But I actually have I do a lot of commercial work, actually. That's like a big part of my income. And I was very resistant to auditioning for commercial clients that didn't want to rent studios and wanted to do it via Source Connect. And this gave me an opportunity to, create a booth that did have that capability, and now I have a lot of Source Connect clients, so I'm really happy about that. For animation and games, they generally want you in studio, but for some reason for commercials, they're like, no, we want you like in your booth at home. So yeah, I would say it was a net positive, but it was definitely not comfortable, and I don't like being uncomfy, so there you go.
I think following up on that, something that you guys just sparked in me there is, as someone who has done some remote dubbing myself and been in the studio, there is a different energy, there's different challenges, and I'm wondering if this is something you guys encountered, if you actually, I know as Erica L. just said there, why do we have two guys with the same?
You can call me the other one.
You like to be in studio, right? Because there's also that energy there, you don't have to deal with the technical stuff. Is this resonate with you guys? Do you prefer to be in studio? Do you want that energy of the director?
We all want to be a pretty princess taken care of in the studio. We all want that.
I want a latte. I want my latte.
But yeah, I definitely, once things were kind of heading back in the direction of being in studio, like there was a time where I think they kind of left it up to us. They said, hey, you know, you can record from home, but if you'd like to come in. And for me, especially as of late, I've been saying, yeah, I'd like to come in because I can engineer myself. I know enough as far as adjusting the input levels and all that stuff where I can, but I would rather not. I'd rather leave that to a professional, and I can just perform and be wild and not have to catch myself in the moment to be, let me turn the thing down Scotia a little bit. Okay, now back to performing with reckless abandon. Oh.
I know I'll never be the same. Shook my world so hard again. Wish I washed away my sins. He's a dead man walking, blank stare in his eyes. Should have given up on the ones I trust. Never should have been surprised when they shot him down. Cold blood to the ground.